So this particular experiment, whether we're talking about Samsung's new Edge model, or if we're talking about Apple's potential Air model, which there's that comparison, by the way. So the thin phone is in, apparently. Today we have the new Edge from Samsung, the S25 Edge. I haven't picked this up yet. Will put it down. He said, do it on camera, get your reaction. Thin phones. Obviously, we've seen on this channel, this thing is crazy thin. How are they gonna deliver this? Mo, can you appreciate how thin that is? Look at the way I'm holding that. It's ridiculous. The hands-on with that early model iPhone 17 Air, and that thing was ridiculously thin. People had split opinions. They're like, do I really want to give up this battery life? How durable is it gonna be? What will the construction materials be? Well, Samsung is apparently further along because in front of me, I have a full-on legit working phone, S25 Edge. What's interesting is there used to be an Edge model, if you recall, back in the day. Today's episode of Unbox Therapy is sponsored by Tello Mobile. Tello is a mobile provider designed to save you money, offering flexible and affordable phone plans with prices up to $25 a month. In fact, they're showing me a plan here, 5 gigabytes plus unlimited talk and text for $14 a month. And I'm saying to Will, I can't get anything for $14 a month or $14 all at once in 2025. In this economy, customers can get reliable nationwide 4G LTE 5G coverage on America's largest network. Plus, you have flexibility to build your own phone plan and bring your own phone, which is a thing I always wanted to do since back in the day. It's like, I don't want any kind of complicated relationship with my phone and pay it off over time. I just want to take whichever phone I like and then bring it to whichever plan I like. And you can keep your phone number as well. And they've got excellent reviews on Trustpilot with a 4.6 score. You're also going to get free hotspot and Wi-Fi calling, unlimited text, international calls to 60 plus countries, eSIM functionality if your phone supports it, and international roaming. So if you're looking to save some cash on your phone bill, check out Tello. All the details will be in the description to get you started. So the Edge is back, but it means something different now. Let me pick this thing up. Oh, slender, ladies and gentlemen. And in a final phone form, that is, feels great. You're like, Lou, don't sit on it. Don't bend it. Yeah, I mean, they decided to go with titanium in their construction. And before I power this on, let's just go over the information I have. So S25 Edge, titanium black, titanium silver. You gotta remember, I'm filming this before their event has taken place. It's got an octa-core Snapdragon 8 Elite. That's what you would want. 256 or 512 storage, 12 gigs RAM. So the battery does need to take a bit of a hit in a device that's this slim. 3,900 milliamp hours, 25 watt super fast charging, fast wireless charging. It has wireless power share. The display spec, 6.7 inches, 3120 by 1440 QHD plus, and of course we've got dynamic AMOLED 2X. Rear camera, a dual setup. You get an ultra wide and a wide rather than a zoom. It does protrude a little bit, so we're gonna have some wobble factor. The wide camera, 200 megapixel f1.7, and the ultra wide 12 megapixel f2.2. Same as the Ultra, Will said. He said, same as the Ultra. Ultrasonic fingerprint, facial recognition is there, and the weight, 163 grams. And then the decision to go with titanium, well, yeah, of course you could, of course. I mean, when you just feel something this thin in your hands, you're like, these are early models, like we've got to be a little bit careful in how we handle them. Are we past the whole thing, like with the durability, or are we still there? I know battery life is ever important to people, so I wonder what kind of compromise people are willing to make. I also think that the smartphone market has gotten a little bit stagnant. It's gotten a little bit static. So I think manufacturers like Samsung, like Apple, where we showcased their Air variant, are just looking for some sort of a way to compel consumers for something different. Will the average customer understand the compromise? They're gonna have to give up some battery life and presumably some durability. Here is your existing model Ultra. I mean, even though it's not twice as thick, it just has that impression. It feels like a slab comparatively. Now, if we compare it instead to the non-Ultra variant, now this you know, you're getting a little closer. So anyway, we have titanium black and titanium silver. Now let's go ahead and do a quick pocket test. Oh my God, it feels like nothing. I am scared it's going to slide out of my pocket. It's the weight. The weight is the bigger difference. Let's go to the Ultra. This is a brick now, comparatively. Ultra comparison. Brick. That's not that bad. I can live with it. I'm exaggerating, obviously. And I remember a period of time in the dumb phone era where phones were shrinking. They kept getting smaller and smaller. Before I was cool enough to have a phone as a youngster, but I saw the executives and businessmen with the Motorola StarTAC. You remember that, Will. Michael Douglas with the car phone. Things were huge. And then so they came down in size and everybody, the status symbol was actually smaller, not bigger. Then obviously things changed and we've been scaling up. And then people were like, let's not buy a mini phone, let's buy a bigger phone. But what if they can still give you the screen size and cut back on the thickness so it doesn't feel as big as it is? And obviously, as we know with laptops, Apple, for example, has done very well with the Air models for laptops. Are they as durable as Panasonic Toughbooks? Probably not. Now, a laptop and a phone don't go through the same amount of abuse. So this particular experiment, whether we're talking about Samsung's new Edge model, or if we're talking about Apple's potential Air model, which there's that comparison, by the way. Looks like Samsung went bigger with their device in general. It's a taller phone, so presumably a bigger display. This one is, they're saying 5.8 millimeters. Yeah, I can get into the 5/8. And then on this guy, it's already written on there, as you said, 5.65. We are actually splitting hairs. A couple of hair strands in between the two. They're both just shockingly thin and light, and man, this marks a completely new era here. I'm really curious to see how customers react, consumers, and then what the longevity is like and whether this persists as a new kind of target for manufacturers to get thinner and thinner and figure out engineering processes to somehow deliver something that's robust enough to be used every day, put in your pocket, potentially dropped, put on the table, and then just have this thin profile and be durable enough for the daily beating. I gotta be honest, guys, like typing on this it's very satisfying. There's like no fatigue because it's just so lightweight.
1,000 plus. It's coming in at 132 pounds, but that's because it's packing 5,040 watt hours of capacity, and that's important.
Stereo,
for these
it sounds
batteries
really
because
good.
They're in power. You've got DC. You've also got a bunch of AC outlets.
Expected it to take a hit on the speaker, but that's one of the better speakers I've tested here. Let's jump into the camera real quick. So as mentioned, we've got two, well, I guess technically they're gonna give us three here, 0.61 and 2. Obviously the 2 is gonna be a crop in this case, and we can then continue to digitally move closer. Our wide, you can see it's identified that it's a plant, boom. And then our ultra wide, boom. Well, you guys know how Samsung does it, man. Like, it is vibrant and wow. And you know what, it's not just the camera, it's also the way that the display renders it. Obviously these are very saturated and vibrant AMOLED displays, but I can just keep cropping and give more and more detail to Will on that bill. Look at that, damn. And then on the ultra wide, obviously not quite as resolution dense, but like still. And I love how locked the color temp is. There's no variation in that. It just nails it. I don't think I would be too nervous about camera performance. Let's do a quick video sample. 8K will be locked at 30 frames and we can shoot 4K at 60 frames. Were you nervous about this? I wasn't.
4K at 60 frames.
The microphone
and
on
we
here.
will move in and talk to Will a little bit so we can get a sense for
This is a microphone
performance
on here too.
and focus. Can you do me a favor and hold up your hand, Will? In front of your face. Like towards the lens so we can watch the focus change. There you go. No, just straight out and straight back.
He goes to the side. There you go.
Pretty good. Are you going to say anything?
Hello.
Oh, it's fantastic, man. It's good. It's good. You're great. You're all set. I don't think you're taking a major downgrade there. Obviously, you're not going to get the reach on the zoom lens that you've got here on the Ultra model. I think that the audience will be split, and I also don't know if this is really targeted at the enthusiast. But when you think of a buyer who actually goes to a store or sees a friend who has one of these, that general customer may prioritize form factor over those other elements that I just mentioned. So maybe that's the group that these smartphone manufacturers want to kind of stir up and get them back into the market and get them back to purchasing new phones on a more frequent cycle, because let's be honest, smartphones have gotten really good, and because of that, people are holding on to them longer and they're not upgrading as often. And if you're a smartphone manufacturer, that is not the best news. You want those people to be upgrading, and now we have Samsung joining the thin party, or I guess technically starting it. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments your opinion on that. Who is the thin phone for? Is it the future for you? Not for you? Maybe you want a thicker phone. Maybe you want maximum battery life. I'm curious to know, so let me know down in the comments. But there it is. That's the S25 Edge, one of the thinnest phones that I've ever put my hands on. I mean, maybe it is. Now here's the thing, if this trend, moving towards thin phones, thinner phones, and all this engineering that goes into just trimming this thing down, obviously you've got to pair this thing with a thin case, such as later case in this case, because if you slap some kind of bulky case onto your thin Edge phone, or for that matter, Air phone, you're kind of defeating the purpose. You want to appreciate it, while at the same time getting a little bit more protection, a little bit of satisfying texture, and the ability to have the device stay in your pocket instead of slide out because it's just a little too smooth. These cases provide that perfect amount of texture where it's not sticky, but it's also enough friction that it doesn't slide when you don't want it to slide. So if you're one of these buyers that's thinking about a thin phone, you're probably gonna wanna think about a thin case to go with it. It's later case, details in the description.